The Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers will meet on Sunday, October 2nd in Week 4 of NFL action. Both teams would like to put Week 3 behind them. The Chiefs forced 8 turnovers, 6 of them interceptions from Ryan Fitzpatrick in last week's game against the Jets. But they still only managed to score 24 points. At least they did end up winning the game. The Steelers were run over by the Wentz Wagon again and again in a lopsided loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Both teams have been favored in all of their games this season, and both teams are also 2-1 to the under. The Steelers are getting the betting market love early in the week. The Kansas City Chiefs are just 1-2 against the spread, and it's tough to feel comfortable backing them right now. The Chiefs are looking at a potential 3-1 record, however, heading into their bye week, and that would be big. Alex Smith has completed 67% of his passes, but most of his action has been on checkdowns or throws to Travis Kelce over the middle. Smith has a 3-1 touchdown interception ratio, but the Chiefs are last in the NFL in yards per catch. Spencer Ware and Charcandrick West have been good in the running game, averaging over 5 yards per carry, and the Chiefs may get a boost from the return of Jamal Charles this week. Slow and steady has always won the race for Andy Reid in Kansas City. It's not easy to evaluate Kansas City's defense because of the enormous skew of Week 3. The Chiefs' secondary has held the opposition to a 56.6% completion percentage and have 8 interceptions, but 6 of those came last time out against the Jets. Kansas City leads the league in takeaways, but they only had 2 over the first 2 games. Tom Bahali is showing signs of age, and Justin Houston has not been part of the fun. Marcus Peters is a stud at cornerback, and he's the type of guy that can change a game on one play. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 2-1 straight up and against the spread. On the Steelers' side, we know that Ben Roethlisberger won't be afraid to throw against this secondary, but Big Ben really needs another wide receiver to show up. With Martavis Bryant suspended, Antonio Brown has to be a one-man wrecking crew. He's good enough to do it, but he's only caught 24 of his 40 targets. D'Angelo Williams ran for 3.9 yards per carry, while filling in for Le'Veon Bell, who returns from his suspension this week. The Steelers need that offensive balance because Roethlisberger is forcing too many passes right now. Through 3 weeks, he's completed less than 60% of his tosses and has a 6-4 touchdown interception ratio on the season. He's also been sacked 6 times. The Steelers have allowed 332 passing yards per game so far, but they've been fortunate to only allow 6 offensive touchdowns through 3 games. Injuries are starting to mount on the defensive side for the Steelers. Ryan Shazier is likely to take this game in from the sidelines, and there are other concerns in the secondary and at the second level. Pittsburgh's defense has featured a lot of missed tackles so far. With no discernible pass rush to speak of, the Steelers have to rely on coverage, and there hasn't been enough of that. Neither one of these teams has been impressive thus far. It makes this game a really tough handicap because there are a lot of possible outcomes. The Chiefs certainly have the better defense, and the Steelers have a lot of offensive potential, especially with Bell's return. But the Chiefs' offensive game plan of checkdowns and mismatches on linebackers should mess well with Pittsburgh's tackling woes and depth concerns. Pittsburgh should win, but this is quite a few points, and we may see some buyback later in the week. Our prediction is Kansas City at +5.